They say people are the most important things. Business models and products would follow if you have the right people. Welcome to The Intellect, Youth with a Nation at Heart. On The Intellect today, we're going to be taking a look at the timber industry. And for us, we are live here in the city of Lagos with the CEO of Kolo and Electronic Smart Woods, Ayooluwa Rufia. Good to have you here today, sir.
Mr. Daniel, how are you?
I'm very fine. Thank you so much for allowing us into your space and into this magnificent workshop of yours.
Now let's take a quick look at the background of how you started, what you studied, and how you switched from biochemistry into being a full-time carpenter.
Okay. My name is Rufia Ayooluwa. I was born 1989. I graduated from Medispark 2010. I studied biochemistry. My grandma, so I'm from a third generation of wood family where my grandma sells firewood, my mom has a sawmill, so that's the motivation behind. So I'm like the third generation of the family.
Amazing.
So family business, so I think I continued with that. Where technology came from the ask to the sawmill, then it's now to me. Maybe my son will take over me. I don't have one yet.
Okay, at what point did you discover that this was like, where did this idea come from? Kolo is everywhere across the globe in Nigeria. Let's say Lagos at large, I've been talking a lot about Kolo, and one of the reasons why we decided to have you on the show. Where did the idea come from?
See, creativity is not just about you being smart. It's about you. It's about a need. It's about you solving a problem.
True.
So I noticed that while growing up, my grandma gave me a small Kolo that I put my money back then in the Kolo. But noticing that my mom is still owing me like 700 naira till now because she's always taking my money out. Like.
Okay.
So I noticed that kids nowadays, they don't save. So I think if they can put their loose change into a small box, a fanciful box in different colors,
Okay.
I think it wouldn't be a bad idea. So we started Kolo 2017, April. I think we're just 2 years and a few months from there.
Amazing to see what you've been able to do in the last 2 years. This is The Intellect, Youth with a Nation at Heart. Now, let's use your personal business as an example, Smartwood, Electronic Smartwood and Kolo. What has been the challenge so far in running the business?
First of all, running a business in Nigeria is not going to be easy. I think when they say most Nigerians are lazy, we're actually kind of lazy, is the truth. People just want to start up a business and the normal word now, I want to blow. It just don't go. Even it took us time to break even in Kolo. It took us like close to 2 years. But the breaking even is not even perfectly okay. We're just saying, okay, we're not losing a lot. So what I would just have to advise people, or what I will say a little bit about it, is that you have to continue trying. First of all, power is a problem in Nigeria. The power, we pay heavily for light, which for electricity rather, and it's a big problem for us. People are not, what's it called? Well, I say people are not kind of, they're not ready to go extra miles for themselves.
Okay.
So far so good. Since the beginning of Smartwood, we've had over like 50 to 60 carpenters. Some of them will come for 1 day and they will not come back. But for every business, you have to sow in the business before it grows big. So we are just investing. So if you are not going to be part of investing in the business, then I don't know what you want to do.
All right, now for young entrepreneurs who are deciding to go into this Smartwood business, let me put it that way, what are some of the advice you'd like to give to them?
I will tell them that patience is key. You won't start a business today and want to make money tomorrow. It doesn't work like that. We are all trying. Even Dangote is looking for money. So that means we can always be patient. So patience is key. Then you have to invest so much in your workers. Your workers they can even make you and they can actually kill you. So I believe in my workers a lot. I care about them. They're my friends. We have a conversation, we fight. But at the end part, they are the people that makes me who I am today, because they believe in me and I believe in them. So those are the two advice I have for them.
All right. Now, how do we channel all of this energy, all of these opportunities that are beginning to show that we are beginning to see coming out in the wood, in the timber industry, in the wood business? How can we engage more youths in this business?
So I think if we are not too careful, deforestation will happen in Nigeria and we won't have any wood. That's why Kolo or Smartwood, we don't go to cut down trees. We use waste wood to make products, premium products. So we are in support of climate change. We care about the ecosystem. So these are some of the things that we disciple. So I think if some people can actually sit there and think, there's a lot of things you can make from wood. My CB is from waste wood. My Kolo is from waste wood. So I think I would just advise that instead of going to cut down trees, I think we should plant more trees for every one of us so that we won't start exporting trees from China.
Let's talk about social media. Social media has been a very big platform in this 21st century of entrepreneurship. Now, for you and your business, how has social media changed the face of your business?
So, when we started the business, my Kolo, we got something right from the beginning. We might not get the business part right, but the social media part we got it right. So, we opened the Facebook, the Twitter, and went to the Instagram. But the Instagram, we spent a lot of money building up that Instagram. Paid adverts, influencers, a lot of giveaways. In fact, we've given over 1,000 to 1,500 from Instagram. I can bet it with you. So we made most of our profit from Instagram. But it's not just about making profit from Instagram. We got the branding right. Our logos, our posts, our content, we care about people. So our advice young entrepreneurs to get their branding right. And no matter how bad, or sometimes we make bad products, it happens. That's why we have a good quality control. In fact, the quality control of my Kolo is being controlled by me. I'm a perfectionist. I just love to see my Kolo perfect. I want to see the colors. I don't want to see any scratch. I don't want people to know it's made from waste wood, even if I say it's from waste wood. So we got that branding right from the onset. So I will tell people, if your product is not on Instagram or on other platforms and those people cannot give good reviews about you, I think you should work on yourself. Okay. So I think our reviews on Instagram, on everywhere, and our products are actually very good. If your products are bad on Instagram or anywhere, trust me, just 1 second, they're finished.
All right, final question that I would be asking you today is, what is the future of carpentry business or carpentry entrepreneurship in Nigeria?
I don't know about every other person, but smart food is coming up, or we've already started the process already, where we have kids. It's just funny that those kids are not available today. Maybe they're just not back from school. So there's something that we already started in smart food, where we bring in children that goes to school. The low-end Nigerian kids, they come to us, we take them on wood. So I don't call them carpenter, I call them wood technologists, the kids. So they are called smart carpenters. So the principle behind the smart carpenters are kids that after they come back from school in this low-end area, this is Lipson, this is Kara, we call them Kara areas. So these kids come to the factory, to our home, and they learn basic carpentry. We teach them about technology, we teach them about branding, we teach them about coding. So they learn from the best. My carpenters are the best. Old carpenters are the best, but they lack a lot of things. They are very arrogant, they know it all. They don't want to accept that technology can help them. But in fact, some of them believe that handsaw is better than, like, they prefer an handsaw, like the local method to using machine. Trust me, it doesn't make sense. But with these kids that we're training now, so in the next 5 years, we're looking at having 5,000 smart carpenters around Nigeria that is being trained by Smart Food. May God help us.
Special thanks to our guest, Ayooluwa Rufai, who is the CEO of Electronic Smart Wood and Kolo NG. And also, for more information, visit our website, www.theintellect.com.ng. You can join the conversation on Twitter and Instagram @TheIntellectNG.
Good day, everybody. Welcome to another amazing segment of The Intellect, Youth with the Nation at Heart. I am your usual host, Onwebusimilian Chidima. Today, we'll be speaking about a very amazing topic. It's called thinking outside the box. Like we do it always on the show, I have people in my panel who would be analyzing what has been said and would be discussing the topic. So I'd allow them introduce themselves. So what's your name? Okay, and
I'm Bukola Balogun.
Bukola. We watched the interview with Ayooluwa. There's this thing he said that have caught our attention. So briefly, what do you think about the interview, like summary?
Yeah, in summary, I think it was very apt, talking about thinking outside the box, doing things differently, and making good use of whatever tools or whatever knowledge he has, and creating a new business.
Okay, and Bukola?
Okay, yeah, I think there was uniqueness in what he is doing. We've always heard about Kolo, but he actually brought in, color, creativity into it. That when you see it, it's attractive to you, and I think that's part of packaging. He was able to, package his product properly, and everyone would see it and be like, oh, this is different. I would want to get something like this and use.
So when we hear the topic, thinking outside the box, what exactly comes to our mind? Well, viewers at home who don't understand the topic in question, I think it's right for us to carry them along. So, Ayooluwa, what do you think? Like, explain the topic, thinking outside the box.
Okay, I would summarize it in one word, and that means innovation. And for you to say innovation, it means that you approach the different product or service differently. And the reason why do you have to think outside the box? First of all, you have to think outside the box for people, technology, and differentiation. For people, human evolution, we've changed. The men of the humans in the early centuries are different from us now. So our appetites are, there's so many things that are happening in our life right now. And that leads to technology. Technology has also affected the way we pray, the way we have sex, the way we communicate. And if you do not keep up to pace, way back then you had the likes of the hi-fi, MySpace, but right now, Facebook, Instagram, technology has also is that. And the third one is differentiation. For you to really think outside the box, you have to be different.
For small, medium enterprises, SMEs, that are trying to manage the little resources they have, how do you think they can brand their products to be able to speak to all classes, not probably low classes? Yes, not exactly a particular class, all classes. How do you think they can be able to use the available resources they have and still be able to stand out, have this amazing branding?
Okay, now when you talk about branding, now you don't have to think of what you're going to, or how you're going to spend ₦1 million or how you're going to spend like 10 million on branding. Now it might just be as simple as adire is what you're just going to use to probably add to your product and make it look different from every other product that is out there. Now one thing is, just like we're talking about thinking outside of the box. It might be just something very little that you just add. You don't have to go for the very expensive things. Now for people who are just starting from the scratch, you don't have to go for the very expensive things. As little as it might be, that's why your creative level has to be really, really high. Now when you can be creative enough, when you can see, there are so many things that are around us that we can turn into any form of thing that will attract people.
If you look around us, a lot of people are doing the same thing with no difference. So how do you think people can actually think outside the box, even with the fact that it is still the same everyday thing, like the everyday thing you see? How do you still think they can think outside the box to be unique? How do you think they can be innovative, just to stand out as a whole?
Okay, just like the word think is, you have to sit and deliberate. You have to sit and dialogue with people. You have to learn from other people, visit other people, see what people are doing. What is a particular, probably a lacuna or a gap that you have noticed? You can actually build on that for yourself. Even though let's say you're going into the business of dry cleaning, let's say for instance, there might be something different that you might think that there's, okay, you go to Mr. A, you go to Mr. B, you go to Mr. D, even to Mr. Z. You discover everybody is going the same line. Yes. Probably going the same line, now there's a problem. There's not something that you noticed looking at everybody. There's something, probably like a problem that you noticed. Now you can build on the problem and try to provide a solution to it, and that's what makes it different.
So I was going to ask you, Ayooluwa, how do you think apprenticeship and mentorship can help businesses thrive, and how do you think it can make people think outside the box?
Yeah, so basically there is a saying that the more you get older, the more you're stuck in your ways. And I do believe, and those are part of the problems we have, conformity. As a child, you look at the young toddler, they are very imaginative, they are creative. Yes. They are, unfortunately, the more they get older, the more they are restrained and constrained. True. Yes, no, do not do this. And unfortunately, our society does not encourage the young children to speak up, to ask questions. And by questioning, you can unravel a lot of mysteries, a lot of answers. So for me, I think also I would also talk about mentorship. It is not in our DNA of some sort to pass the knowledge we have down to our generations. The only way we do that more or less through our DNA. But unfortunately, in terms of documenting things and all, we really do not do that. And that is indirectly or directly part of the way you can enlighten the younger generation. I always say something, how can you speak to the dead and how can you hear from the unborn? And the answer lies in storytelling, because the history, none of us met Fela, a lot of us did not meet Abraham Lincoln, Ayooluwa, but we know their story. So it has to start from that young age, from the children in the primary school. They need to be taught not just not just knowledge that they can't use in their everyday life. Yes, a lot of us had said in primary school, remember LCM. How many of us have actually used LCM to solve the traffic problem or HCM? No, but it has to be applicable knowledge.
Yes.
And that's where thinking outside the box, that's where innovation comes, that's where design thinking comes, that's where empathy comes. You have to ingrain, you have to teach them from that young age.
So we would be watching an interview with a young Nigerian who is in the health sector and is thinking out of the box in his own way. Please stay tuned.
Hi guys, my name is Ugo. I'm a co-founder at Medispark. We're a software company that provides technology for hospitals and medical facilities to operate seamlessly. So I'm here to talk about thinking outside the box. One major thing, it helps you challenge the status quo all the time. Because of that, you're able to solve problems a lot quicker, because everybody takes the usual straight path towards something, and you're able to see multiple different channels to which to arrive at the same goal. So it allows you to solve problems much easier, and it allows you to innovate. I always give the example of companies like Apple. Back in 2007, 2006, all of us were very happy with our touch, tactile keyboard phones and our flip Motorola phones. But today, Apple has introduced the iPhone, which is was the first phone with a flat touch screen and no buttons at all. And now it's the way of the world. So we're able to see ahead of the future because they constantly think outside the box. You can also see things from perspectives of people like your customers. Because your customers want your service a certain way, are willing to pay a certain price, you can understand why they choose to do these things, and you can serve them better. Other people, you can see their perspectives as well, is your competition. You can see how they see you. You can understand how to compete with them better, because you can see how they see your vulnerabilities and how you can react to that easily. It makes you puts you ahead of the curve and makes you a much better competitor. So we actually have to actively try to think outside the box, and there are several ways you can do this. For one, an example I always give is you can ask children or ask people outside your field. The perspective of how, let's say, a doctor should do something is very different from the opinion of someone who isn't a doctor or has never been medically trained. Will give them a different way of thinking about what they do. And in that way, they're able to consider other channels to arriving at the same goal. Also, you can try and actively absorb content from outside your field. So this is how thinking outside the box can help you compete and be better at doing everything you do, not just in business, but in personal life as well.
Welcome back, guys. I'm sure we enjoyed that amazing interview with that young Nigerian who is thinking outside the box. So to wrap up the show, I'll be asking, like while we were discussing, we were able to pick out how people can think outside the box. We're also able to pick out like things they need to do. We spoke about being innovative, being unique, branding, packaging and all. So for people who are going out of their own way to think outside, but it's not something you see, everybody is doing everything. Everybody is doing the same thing. So for people who are thinking outside the box, how do you think government can support these people, Bukola?
Okay, I think first of all is to create an enabling environment. That's the basic. Now, if the economy isn't bearable enough for young entrepreneurs, you discover that you're just going to keep struggling and you keep going around the circles over and over. But if the government can help balance the economy, now, no matter how little capital that you might have to start off, you see the results of what you're doing. Yes, but when we have a situation where the economy isn't friendly, or policies that are being, implemented. Now we have a problem of implementation of policies in Nigeria. We have different policies that are embedded in our constitutions, but are they being implemented? And also, even when some of these policies are created, they are not youth friendly, or they are not people friendly. Let me say, yes, the masses, they are not friendly to them at all. Now let's create policies that will enable people who are into entrepreneurs, who are into small and medium enterprises. When we do that, we discover that this is actually the government's place. And when the government tries to do all of this, it means the government is carrying everybody along. It's not just those people who are the high and the mighty up there.
Okay, so we'll be calling it a day. I'm sure we've learned so much. So for whatever it is you're doing, whatever business you're doing, you're not just the solution finder, is that correct? You should also be innovative. You should also be unique. You should also be able to think out of the box, brand, package, everything positive. Do it to help your properly, okay? So from us here at the studio, it's a goodbye. Don't forget, keep watching the Intellect Show, Youth with a Nation at Heart. Hello, welcome to Business Crest. My name is God Queen Anike, and I'm here again to give you the gist that will move you ahead, to feed you with all the positivity that you'll be needing to live for greatness. We all know the saying that the young shall grow. That statement is very valid because everything small will definitely grow and take shape. Walmart. We know Walmart now, or do I need to tell you? But for those that want to know, Walmart is a supermarket where you go to buy your day-to-day needs, be it groceries, be it toiletries, you name it. But it's a supermarket where you go to get the things that you need. Walmart was founded in the year 1962 by Sam Walton. And they have over different branches in like 6 different countries and over 2.2 million workers all over the world. His main focus was to sell at a very low cost so that everybody will be able to patronize him. You know how this thing goes now. But that wouldn't have been possible because there were people before him, there were competitors. But he never stopped. And that is why you don't need to stop. He kept pushing. He was persistent. He was consistent. That is the key word. You just have to be consistent. You just have to keep moving. You just have to keep pushing, because at the end of the day, it will all end in greatness. So I urge you today to just continue doing what you're doing. Do not get tired. Do not be weak. For more encouragement, you should come back to me. For the next episode, I have more and more of this to give you, and trust me, you'll never regret it, okay? Do not forget to register on our website for the export term before it ends. And for more inquiries, more information, visit all our social media platforms. Thank you and have a wonderful time. I love you. Mwah, mwah, mwah.